Hello and welcome back to episode 5 of season 2 of Really Awesome Place Civilization Beyond Earth with Rising Tide. When we left off, we had our 3 starting cities, Gyeongsang, Dangai and Yuemu, and we were on the way to settle a 4th city up here to the north of Dangai and northeast of Gyeongsang. Our war with the Australians has broken out. We've recently captured the city of Ragni, which we are burning to the ground, which will be done completing in 4 turns. I'm just trying to map up some of their units over here with our naval forces and our 1 land unit that we have. Beyond that we're working on some research, just trying to get the cities up and going. Expanding a bit slower than I would like, to be honest, at this stage of the game, but not overly concerned with it. But yeah, I guess we're going to jump straight in with a next turn. So it's a Monday morning here in Seattle. I typically tend to take the weekend off from recording, so it's Monday, so I haven't actually played this in a few days, so if I'm a little rusty, you'll forgive me, I hope. So the Australians attacking Ragni, hoping to recapture it. I think they might actually do so. Yes, indeed they did, but it's no big problem. Our marine unit taking quite a bit of fire, and one of our subs, it looks like, is about to take fire as well. But that is okay.
Meine Zeit ist kostbar. Deine nicht?
So, Integer now declaring war on us, which is a bit of an inconvenience, but not the end of the world. They are located to the opposite side, if I remember correctly, from the Australians. Yes, indeed, Integer over here, so they'll probably super in this direction. So yes, indeed, we need to start thinking about some defensive units back in our home cities. But for now, let's get straight into it with a next turn. So Integer are actually right beside us, so I think I might... well, first things first, let's take what shots we can on these Australian units. I would like to keep this guy in range for an attack on something, but also to do to remain concealed, I should say. This fellow can move to here and simply, hopefully, yes indeed, he's a tier 2 unit compared to a tier 1 unit, so these are much stronger at this stage of the game. This guy is actually in a bit of trouble, so I'm going to move him back. Now up here our colonist is headed to, where did we decide? I think the tile below the miasma. Yes indeed, this tile right here is where I think we decided. So we'll just autopat that unit over to there, and this fellow can follow along. Our worker outside of Yuemu can begin to clear this miasma. I was asked in a comment actually from the previous playthrough to change the focus of the cities, how to, I suppose I'll just show you guys what that means first. So if we go back to Yuemu, we can set it to cultural focus, production focus, and it'll change the inherent values of the city. So at the moment, if we have it on 0, I will just have a look at it's going to take, okay, well maybe the manufacturing is a bad example, but let's look at the population, for example. So in 6 turns it'll grow to size 7, or no, in 7 turns it'll grow to size 7. Okay, so if we change the focus to food, it's still the same, but it actually can help increase the, if you're after a specific thing like health or science or whatever, you can change it that way. You can also change, of course, you can set the city to produce like energy or research or culture or food. So you can do that down there as well. But to be frank, I tend to just set up a city, and if the location is good, if it's balanced location around the initial spot for the city, then the city, in my opinion at least, can be fine. That is not to say it's not a viable strategy. Of course it is. If I was running, say for example, I only had these 3 cities, or even just Dangai and Gyeongsang, for example, I would absolutely be more in that screen a lot more often, like changing the focus to help. Okay, we need, if we shift to food here, for example, we can get the extra population in half the time, so we'll do that, and then we'll go back to manufacture. But I try not to delve too deeply into that. It's just personal preference, really. There's no right or wrong, I guess. But yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that briefly. But yes, we have to choose production in Gyeongsang. Rocket battery might be a good idea. No, I think I'll build a rocket battery and purchase a sub here. I'm aware that there's infantry units nearby. Actually, we should move. We had a naval melee unit that we actually moved back, which was a bit of a mistake now in hindsight. But actually, to be frank, I wasn't expecting the integer people to declare war on us. Tempted to build a broadside here. They're pretty good, you know, and they're quick as well. A destroyer would be a lot nicer, I think, but for now, you know what, we'll be fine. So we have a marine in our city of Yuomu, and he can actually stay there to fortify. Just checking everything else. Unit was killed, yes indeed. That's our worker unit. So yeah, nothing too major. I presume that wonder was built by the Cavatan Protectorate. They get a free wonder with every city they have, so it takes one turn to build, which is a bit yeah, I mean it's not overpowered I guess, but it's a very nice bonus if you're into that sort of thing. So I'm actually glad it's this unit taking the fire. We'll hear die I think, but it does leave our naval force unimpeded. Like that guy is to get back anywhere usable outside of this city. It would take a long time, so it's something to keep in mind I guess. I'd rather he take the fire than some of our other units take the fire. Veterans a bonus on our destroyer. Now the decision now becomes, do we move back and start attacking the integer as well, or do we just stay focused? Because we can make peace with the Australians.
What do you want, Yabo?
So if we were to end the conflict now, we couldn't quite get a city, which might be nice actually. They only have 3 cities I think. So yeah, I think we might actually just pressure this war a bit more. But for now we need to choose production in Yuomu. And in Yuomu, I think I shall build... Yuomu is quite far behind in terms of its infrastructure. An auto plant would certainly be good. Just for the extra production in general. So yeah, I think I will actually go for the auto plant, even though there's 19 turns away. I think what we might actually do with Yuomu is come in here and purchase this plot with the titanium, and actually forget that miasma and move our worker over here to work the to build a mine on the titanium to get the additional production for the city of Yuomu, which actually make quite a difference to its completion rate of stuff in the city. So we are back here by Ragni. Now our broadside is our 1 melee unit, so we need to keep that safe where possible. Not an ideal place to heal the unit, but if I move it first, I cannot heal it, so we should begin moving these subs into range and have some shots at Ragni. Now our Tide Hunters will all be spotted if they move to those tiles, so I'll just move one slowly up to the north. Our broadside will actually take shots here, I think, if I put it within range of the city. So instead I'll just move it up here to have a more, it's a lot of movement, so to have a more centralized location. And they can actually skip. Now our settler, a colonist even, should be able to settle on the next turn, which is fantastic. And our sub here can begin assaulting this infantry unit outside of the city of Chungsu. Now here, like I don't want to move within vision range. I'm amazed that that spot there isn't in vision. But if it's not, it's not, so we'll move in and have a look. Shoot on the next turn. This worker can move out into the sea. Hopefully the North Sea Alliance move themselves on the next turn. Actually, it might be a good idea to ally with the North Sea Alliance.
We can get some work done.
So yeah, let's actually ally, because if we ally with this guy, he'll go to war with Integer. So he'll keep Integer busy while I'm keeping the Australians under pressure. So there we go. There he is. So the North Sea Alliance are now at war with Integer and Australia. So that is fantastic. It'll keep certainly stem the flow of units, and I mean they're so close to each other. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out maybe in time. So yeah, obviously Integer and the Australians somewhat unhappy with that decision. This worker unit here can actually continue to move up to our new city. So we have something to develop the land tiles around the new city. I wonder what the name of our new city will be. Something interesting, no doubt. So the Cavitan Protector are a little unhappy with us too. And the Brasilia unhappy with us too. Not too worried. So that North Sea Alliance unit moved off, actually moved straight back towards its home city, so looking like they're actually going over there to build or start a war with Integer, or continue a war I should say with Integer. So here, how do you handle this? Oh, so do I assault Ragni? I think I do with this sub and this sub, and this guy can move up here a little, I think. Bit apprehensive. That's a gunner, so if I put that unit there, it'll actually both will be able to attack each other. Now I will do a hell of more damage than that unit, so actually I might just do that. Nearly a kill on the first hit with it, so not too shabby at all. Maybe this guy can get the kill. Oh no, the destroyer killed it outright, so that is incredible. So our sub can continue to move into range, and this fellow is going to be our home city defense, just in case a big force show up somewhere. We shall settle our city. I wonder what the name shall be. Yagdan or Yagdog. I can't really see it, so let's jump into the city so we can actually see the name. Oh, we cannot just yet, so that unit can fortify for now. Now our broadside could actually just sweep in and take that city of Ragni, but a bit conscious of this armor here at the side. So I think for now you can just move one tile this way and skip. Maybe some Covert Ops as well needs order, so we'll get to that shortly. Here I think it would be wise to start building needle jets, but they are quite a time investment at the moment, and I think we need more immediate tangible units that we can use straight away, because I mean I could build the needle jets and sure they'd be good for defense, but I'd in order to actually operationalize them I'd have to build some carriers, and that's going to take like, yeah, so 19 turns in total, so that's not exactly ideal at the moment. I think tempted to just build a quick recycler just to get the additional production of food, and then we can go back to building military units. Alpha go in purity as well in this game. Fantastic. Oh, I forgot to move our covert units, but I shall do so first thing on the next turn. So I think it seems the Brazilians respect increase is when our energy reserves are above 500, so just keep in mind you should actually shoot that down. Not quite, but nearly. This unit is hella strong for this stage of the game. I'm really happy we have tier 2 units on the field already. We consider that the AI has such an advantage, and yet we're still ahead of them. I'm happy out with that. So this guy in Freeland can siphon energy, and Mandira can also siphon energy. Not a whole lot else they can do. Deep Sea, I am actually tempted to move that agent at the end of that operation. I don't want to antagonize our one ally, so I think that might be a bit naive. Just go over here and have a look. So they're producing cruisers, local health, energy yield, production yield. Okay, just get an idea of what Integer are actually up to over there. 15% less negative health will come in helpful later, but we don't need it immediately. So that might be a good idea. Terrascape improvement. So yeah, I think we will actually go for this. So if we get one more... oh no, this actually gives us +1 health as well. So you'll see up here, these are the synergy bonuses. So if we get one more, we get +1 health for every city. So that's actually 4 health we'll get. That's not too shabby. And one of our units needs orders, our cruiser. Actually, I'm going to open with the Tide Hunter because I wouldn't mind getting the experience onto our cruiser, because the extra damage on that would be a bit more meaningful, I think. I can't quite kill it, but not the end of the world, I guess. This unit is spotted here outside of Ragni, so just shuffle our units around a bit. Like so. And this guy won't quite be able to hit, I don't think. Oh, he can indeed. Fantastic. I'm just trying to bleed the Australians dry a bit at the moment, just so we can make a better push into their cities. The city of Friedland we won't actually be able to capture, but I can certainly raise Ragni and just take the other city from them in a settlement, And then, I don't know, maybe move on Freeland then on the next turn. It's not a particularly strong city. And all things considered, it is relatively well located. I'm just looking for the nearest AI, which are not for miles and miles. So the actual nearest AI is Integer over here on the far side. And even those guys are maybe half a continental distance away. So it's actually not too shabby at all. I move this guy. Actually, I might move this guy here just to see if he can draw some out of fire away from our cruiser or destroyer, because we do actually need the damage coming out of our destroyer. So it needs to be on full health. So Jiangsang nearly finished the rocket battery, which is fantastic. Alpha opening with an unhappiness with us, and also with our territory size. So things are looking pretty good, though. I think overall, bit behind, I guess, where I would like to be at this stage, but. Is our sub taking hella fire outside of Freeland? But not the end of the world, to be honest. We do have a lot of energy, so build one bionics lab. Is a mission we just got. Diplomatic.
I'm open to the possibilities.
Oh, Duncan, I'm sorry I can't give you science. Anything else I would be happy to give, but. So this unit needs to get out of there. This guy can, yes, he can capture Ragni on this turn, so I think what we'll do is go with these guys. This guy can fortify, and then we'll move our broadside into, oh, we'll do one more shot at Ragni. That guy can heal, actually. This guy can assault Ragni, and then this guy can come for the capture. A bit worried about this armor, its ability to recapture on this turn, but I guess we'll see. And we're going to raise that city again. I think here, I'm actually going to heal that unit. This guy can come over here and construct a Phyrexiate mine. And we have production in Jiangsang. So, Jiangsang, what to build here? Auto plant certainly is good. What was the mission we just got? Excuse my short memory. Redacted? No. Build one bionics lab building. Now we haven't got access to the bionics lab even technology yet, as far as I'm aware. And so we'll actually have a look, see where bionics lab lies in the tech tree. Bionics. B-I-O-N, bionics lab. Okay, so bionics, we could actually just queue that up for the next technology we're going to go after. It does actually give us some. Yes, indeed. Purity affinity as well, which is nice. Battlesuit is quite nice. That might be actually a good thing to go for as well, but you know what, we'll come back to it. I think here in Jiangsang, what do we need right now? Vivarium might be a good idea. I think an auto plant might be a good idea as well. But you know what, I think I'm going to build another destroyer first in Jiangsang, just to beef up our military a bit. The ever-present shadowy spectre of Brasilia looms in this game, so I do want to have a military that can rival that at some point, should it be needed. Cavatan Protectorate, I know they're a bit unhappy with us, so a little concerned if they were to start war with us as well. I'm hoping they can't actually recapture this city. It's looking like they might be able to. Yes, indeed, I think they probably are going to recapture, which is definitely not ideal. Oh, they could not, so that is actually makes our life here so much better. Because we can move this unit out, and they'll move a unit in, which is fantastic. I think we have to focus on the cutters and the cruisers coming out here from the south. Turns out they can actually get around this way, which is... So we'll see how this turn goes. If we can manage to kill quite a few units, then I think we might actually even make peace on this turn, but I guess we'll see. Taking what shots I can with these units. It's a real shame that unit doesn't die in this turn, but move our broadside back, and he can alert. Our worker here can build a Phyrexiate mine. A Freeland, if we were to make peace with you now. So we could take their other city of Jimbona, and we still actually own the other city, so this is actually works out fantastic. So yes, indeed, we should do that. I'm fully expecting them to declare war on us again very shortly, but So Jimbuna, the other side of Freeland, we're actually going to raise that city as well. So the earliest they can start a new war with us is 10 turns, so that city will have burned to the ground, as will have Ragni. So we've really stifled the Australians at the moment. Okay, they do have a strong initial, or a strong current, strongish current military on the field, but not particularly so. So Ragni is burning, it doesn't really matter what we choose. These guys can all heal. Our worker here outside of Dangai is finished the Fraxite mine. Actually, I might get these two to have a connecting road between each other. So yes, indeed, that'll take a long time, but not particularly worried about it. So there we go, we can begin constructing a road. Just to make life a bit easier for war breaks out or something, and we need to get some land units, but I think that'll be the bigger land unit focus. So Hatana's still happy with us, or unhappy with us? Not too worried about it though. He's not long for this life. So I might actually relocate this this naval force around towards Freeland, and we can capture and remove the Australians from the game. +1 science, so +1 health. With the focus, I'm going to move to Freeland. I think the health is probably going to be a more important one. I don't think so. And over in Dangai. So in Dangai, I'm just debating here what you build over here. Farm lab certainly makes sense at the moment, just to get our own health up. I know we have raised cities, and that's why or cities in resistance, I should say. So that's why our own health is what it is. Chimbula is burning to the ground, so it doesn't really matter what we choose. These units, I'll actually keep them together for now until all our units are back at 100% health. So they can actually all just fortify for now and we can heal. Making sure everything is taken care of that we need to take care of at the moment. So we are still at war with Integer, just to keep that in mind. Islemuir, Deep Castle and Frigid, I remember these places, as we played as the North Sea Alliance on our last playthrough, so those names sound familiar to me. So we need to, yeah, things are looking pretty good. A little slower than perhaps I'd like, but not overly so. It's not super concerned about it, but I guess time will tell. So I'm expecting a relatively quiet couple of turns. Just going to fortify all these units until everyone is healed. I think when this cruiser is ready, actually we might need to start moving this Tidehunter over. It's a bit of a gamble to leave our cities so undefended, but we do have enough to freely purchase military units, so I'm not overly concerned about it. Alpha, you were once our very good friends. I wonder will they declare war on us in this playthrough? Kind of expecting the Cavatan Protectorate to begin getting unhappy with us shortly. Yeah, it's odd, my playstyle usually ends with Integer being quite impressed with my whatever I'm doing, you know? It's odd that in this playthrough they seem consistently unhappy with what I'm doing, which is not ideal, I guess, but it's not the end of the world. They made the mistake of declaring war on myself, and now they have Duncan Hughes to answer to. I wonder how that war is actually going. I guess time will tell. So, sorry, I was just having a sip of my coffee. Alphala just declared war on the Australians. So where are Alphala located? Up here, they are yellow. Ard is their capital city. So they're a bit of a trek down to Freeland. God, these poor Australians, they are going to not going to last long. I mean, that's one city at 35%. Or 35 combat, or 35 combat strength. Like, that's a couple of shots from these units, and then our broadside just moves in. And okay, there's a ton of units around, but when you remove a civilization from the game, obviously all their units get destroyed along with it. So it's not a huge deal. Unless they manage to get out a whatchamacallit colonist before they're destroyed. Well, you can Be unhappy all you want, my friend Tutana, with our military unit strength. You won't have much to complain about in about 15 turns, I'd say. Maybe less. This fella's going to build a farm over there. I think we can actually begin moving these units. I think I'll actually move this guy first because he's much better vision. I know they did bring units around there, so I'm not actually worried that I cannot do that. But it will be a bit of a pain if it is blocked. And choose production over in Dangai, which just finished the Pharma Lab. So in Dangai, I think I might build another destroyer. They are just so much stronger than anything else on the field at the moment, which is nice. Let's see how many turns it'll take to declare war on this guy again. 5 more turns, so I'm just making sure that city will actually burn to the ground. It will indeed. So yeah, Jiangsang nearly finished the destroyer. Dangai currently building a destroyer, and Yumu still tipping away at the auto plant. And our new city of Yagag, I still can't see the name, which is a bit of a shame. Oh, here we go, we see it over here. So Yagsag will grow in 1 turn, so we can begin producing stuff there. I think straight away we'll purchase a trade depot and a trade convoy, and then begin that city's early life much quicker. The production increase from trade depots and stuff makes a big difference. So the Brasilia still very happy with our energy production. That's mainly thanks to them, actually, if I'm being honest here. Okay, I might actually move out of here so this guy can get out of where he is. I will have to move these units around a little bit more. So this guy can move down to join the rest of our force. Just a quick check, everything is going okay. Yagsag 2 turns, okay. No rush, Yagsag, take your time. So Alphala happy with us. Again, Alphala tend to, the playstyle that I tend to follow, tends to naturally gain respect, or garnish respect, I guess, from Alphala. So might get a bit messy here for a couple of turns while we end the Polystrelians. Okay, fantastic, that guy moved out of the way, so we can now move our own forces in. So they should be 3 turns away from being able to declare war on us again. So I'm a bit worried that they're actually going to attack our cities over here, so I might actually keep that fellow there. Because if they manage to capture one of these cities, it's just a hindrance. Like it just takes a couple of turns to recapture it and stuff. It's more pain than anything else, if I'm being honest. So now I think actually, thinking of being a pain, I'm actually going to purchase a needle jet here because they are so strong thanks to our artifact improvement. We've got 50% combat strength increase. That's an incredible amount of damage. So things are looking pretty good. Yagsog's still telling me it'll be 1 turn, but I'll believe it when I see it, to be honest. So the Franco-Iberians now unhappy with us. We'll ramp up very shortly, I think. We now have 4 cities on the ground, about to have a 5th, really. So Integer and Polystralia are now at war. Cavatan and Hotana, or the Polystrelians, are now at war. This guy has a bit of a death wish, I think. He's probably going to ask to be friends here.
Open to the possibilities.
No, thank you. Sorry, my buddy Duncan, but no dice. Now, can that unit actually attack all the way over here? I presume he can. Although he cannot, so that is not ideal. But perhaps it's because we are not in a war. Perhaps the aircraft can't declare war or something silly like that. So we'll see soon enough. So there should be a force good enough to take the city of Freeland. Submarines are still incredibly slow. If we were level 8 in Harmony Affinity, I'll just trade the upgrades for the military units. So the Tide Hunter, I believe they're called at the moment. Yes, indeed. So our next upgrade is level 8, so and that makes a big difference to get plus 1 movement. Plus 30% when attacking cities, or plus 10% per unused movement. We'll probably go for the second one. But we'll see, I guess. like I can go on errand just up for now. So Hutana might declare a war on us this turn. Might have to wait one more turn, but I guess we shall see. So I think Freeland must have built some defensive structures. Their combat strength now is at 55. Still not a huge deal. It's a couple of turns. They have so much land units. They have one naval unit here. Like, these guys are a bit of a joke. Let's kill them in one turn.
Mathematical proof is the only foundation for ethics that I can respect. Progress in mathematics is progress in morality.
So there we go. We finished Transcendental Math.
Remember that humanity has already escaped from a disaster of its own making. Before us, no other life on Earth had the wisdom to understand what transpired, or the power to overcome.
And level 8 in Purity reached quite a good deal of stuff we got with this. The most important being something we just discussed, which is the upgrade to the Tide Hunters. So we shall go for the 10% per unused movement. 30% attacking cities is good, but I think Purity I'd rather just have a stronger army than the enemy can field. I think here yeah, we'll probably go for the same thing on the now Lancer unit. Diplomatic transmission.
Venga, volvámonos más ricos.
Might be a good idea. I don't quite need to worry about diplomatic capital, just say we're only taking down 3 per turn. Be a good idea to get him on our side though. So we'll just see if that unit was successful. Oh yes, indeed it was. So our agents recruited defectors in Deep Castle, but was detected. So cool, we got some new units just from doing a Covert Ops mission. That is pretty badass actually. So I think we'll actually reassign this fellow somewhere else, because I don't want to... Ard might be good, or the Cavatan Protectorate might be good. Citadella might be good, because there seems to be Covert Ops going on there already, so we shall move in and do our own Covert Ops up there. I think 2 civilizations working together to perform Covert Ops and get it done much faster. So Yagsag, I'm just going to build the standard farms and stuff around the place. Here, I think we move this guy first. So they don't have a whole lot in the way of defense here. Sure, they have a lot of units over by our cities, but like over here somewhere, yes indeed 3 units, but check this out in the subs now. They're like able to move twice as far, which is incredible. Not quite the Harmony get an additional movement in addition to their movement, if that makes sense. So I'll show what I mean here. So they actually get over here in Harmony, you can actually get +1 movement and +1 movement from the baseline upgrade, so they actually become much more mobile. But for the Purity, we actually got a lot of damage increase instead, so it's actually quite good. This guy can skip. You can actually skip as well. Now what to do here? I'm a bit apprehensive about putting that unit into Dangai. I think I'll just fortify in place these units. We do need a defensive unit in Zhongsang, but I think instead this fellow can go to Dangai, and this unit can go to Zhongsang because it's ranged. And Zhongsang is our capital, so I'd rather keep that safe. Oh, we got an explorer, fantastic. So maybe we can actually get this Progenerator rune that we were after earlier on. Jump in to a next turn. So Alphala, unhappy with our population. It's about to be bolstered by how many people are in Freeland? 12 people, so... Oh, Duncan Hughes and the Polystrelians are still at war, so it seems the Polystrelians certainly have a debt wish. They seem to be at war with everyone bar Brasilia, I think, on the map. Maybe the Franco-Iberians, I don't think they're at war with as well. So I need to capture the city down here pretty quickly. 2 more turns will probably be how long it takes. +1 from autoplants, +1 production from autoplants is better than +1 energy from autoplants, in my opinion. So it's looking like we can actually attack the city of Freeland on the next turn, which is ideal. This guy can alert and alert. Up here you can build a farm outside of Yagzog. Guys, that is the end of the turn, but I'm also going to call it the end of the episode. As always, thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my gameplay. I know it can be a bit amateur at times, but maybe that's what this Let's Play is meant to be, for me at least, a place to learn. I'd love to hear your feedback or thoughts, suggestions, all that stuff if you do have any. just put them down in the comments. I'll absolutely get back to you. I've only got 35 subs, so you'll definitely your comments will most certainly be answered. But yeah, thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next time.